Hikes walked in. All right. Folks, good afternoon. I'm really happy this day has arrived. It's a big deal for management, for labor, as well as for the United States of America. I really mean it. For the past 13 months, the International Longshoremen and Warehouse Union, representing 22,000 workers on the West Coast port,
of a Social Security poll say that they don't think this year's sizable bump will give them a chance to get their feet on the ground again and catch up. So that's not good. Furthermore, they worry that the increased income could result in huge tax bills. This year's beefed up COLA, which boosted the average retiree benefit by more than $140 a month, will push retirees over the edge, over the income thresholds which are not indexed for inflation, plus thus requiring them to pay more taxes on part of their Social Security benefit. Many who had not paid taxes on their benefits in the past are going to have to go through this. With that being said, a Social Security policy analyst has told Yahoo Finance that even as inflation moderates, it will be more difficult for lower and modest income seniors and those who have been retired to dig out of the shortfall between what Social Security beneficiaries received over the past 2 years. And this effect of actual inflation is going to not be good, because according to the SSI, nearly 9 out of 10 people aged 65 and older receive Social Security benefits. Among the elderly Social Security beneficiaries, 12% of men and 15% of women are on Social Security for 90% of their income. For the typical retiree, it covers about half the retirement income. Seniors overall have been feeling the gap for months now. Last fall, nearly 2 out of 5 of the 1,500 retirees had this problem. The Senior Citizens League reported that their standard of living had worsened since March 2020, and they had depleted savings faster than planned. Roughly the same percentage that they had no savings and had piled on debt and had tackled low-income assistance programs. Who was one of the most people affected by this crisis, said that the people in the city and state have already a plan to send cash to hundreds of families, if not thousands, who were going through a tough time. The bill was presented and is calling for the state to spend $5 million in funds that are coming from the federal crisis stimulus package. They are urging the federal government to agree on sending $500 monthly payments to local families for the next year and a half. This idea is for this program to begin as soon as possible, and its approval will go into 2024. Now, the program is not approved yet, but a green light would mean that eligible people will be with low income, who are either parents or guardians of children in public city schools, and it's a great chance for the city of St. Louis to offer support for working families and their children. The Nebraska governor has also made some school aid and tax cut plans to keep on rolling this week, as lawmakers give a strong thumbs up to a package of property tax changes worth more than $3 billion over the next 6 years. The bill introduced by the senator would increase Nebraska's 2 property tax credit program, cap school property tax growth, and eliminate almost all community college property tax. The package represents the second piece of Governor Pillen's plan to advance this bill. The first piece would cut the state's top income tax rate by 1/3 and make other income tax changes possible. The governor said the property tax package would provide substantial property tax relief for everyday Nebraskans. And last August in the state of Maine, a new law took effect aimed at giving relief to the homeowners who have watched inflation and demand drive up their property values and thus their taxes.
For a bad batch of water. The system then was, paused, distributing more water into the system in an effort to have a better chemistry or a better jar test of what they were producing. And so that meant that the residents were draining what was left at that point in the clear wells. This is happening, at a time where we have support with the state there, at the water treatment facility. We welcome their support with open arms. Because we believe that our residents are worthy.
There is a new monthly eligible benefit raise. Lawmakers have agreed to provide a boost to beneficiaries. This might be worth up to $200 of financial aid. But some Americans in several states may not be eligible to receive this stimulus check. Gas prices are down, inflation is dropping very high, and the cost of food is going up. The price of food in America, everybody, rose more in the past year for receiving the refund through direct deposit or checks sent in the mail. And those who have not yet filed their 21 tax returns have until September 15 to do so. There will be many more Americans getting a major check worth more than $3,000. It's been a few months since Alaska has been sending out the cash from its permanent fund dividend that had paid out to a lot of people in the state. Now, back in 2022, these checks were pretty much worth $4,000, and the exact date of when you get the money is sent is just deposited and depends on when applications are approved. Because Alaska's permanent fund dividend is continuing to accept applications through March 31st, and residents have until February 28th to file an application for property tax rebate as part of our state's Anchor benefit program. An estimated 2 million households in the Garden State are eligible for Anchor, which stands for Affordable New Jersey Community Homeowners. Now, homeowners who earn up to $150,000 will receive $1,500 in property tax, and they're also going to get a lot more money in stimulus payments. And also, another state like Connecticut, one of those northern states, you will begin issuing the payments from its premium pay program, or we call it Triple P. In the next 5 to 6 weeks, people will get stimulus $1,000 between March 1st and $1,000 between March 11th. Applicants who applied by October will receive anywhere from, $200 to $1,000, with the full-time essential workers getting a lot of money. Because what we know for sure is that applicants will get that cash. And even in the state of Maine, Revenue Service has sent $5,000 checks worth around $450. And that was by January 31st. So that was about 2 weeks ago, and that people can get even more money. Because now the Director of Communications for the state of Maine has said there are no delays, and they're anticipating people to get stimulus very fast, very quick, and very efficiently. That's a good thing to know. Even in Michigan, the Governor Gretchen Whitmer and Democratic legislators recently announced a proposed plan that would send $180 inflation relief checks to people who need it the most. This is going to go to the people of Maine and people of Michigan, and you'll be getting a lot of stimulus. Even if you're a married taxpayer filing separately, you will just receive $90 each. We have a ton of news about the fourth stimulus check, Social Security benefits, SSI, SSDI, and as well as the SSA benefits. So we have a ton of news about the fourth stimulus payment that you need to know. It's about to happen. The new inflation relief checks are being sent out, and it's being approved right now for the millions of low-income households. Right now, Joe Biden is just showing support for another recurring stimulus payment. As part of the American Rescue Plan, though, he says that there could be more stimulus in 2023. Because during his second State of the Union address, Joe Biden puts a focus on children with initiatives that would introduce universal pre-K and things like that. Residents of Washington now have a new annual tax credit available to them. It could be worth up to $200. And this month, the Washington State Department of Revenue launched a Working Families Tax Credit, which everybody will get a stimulus in that part. The tax credit is also targeted to the low moderate income households to provide financial stability. Up to $400,000 is eligible for people to get stimulus cash, and the credit is modeled after the federal Earned Income Tax Credit program. It's considered one of the best tools for reducing poverty, and even the state officials are excited to send this out. So you'll be getting that stimulus cash in no time, folks. Yes, that's right. Joe Biden can send it out in a matter of seconds. But do you believe that he will get it done faster?
Thank you very much. Let me begin the questioning, and